Good afternoon and welcome to the Surrey Sports Park. We are here for WBBL Championship action. The Sevenoaks Suns are back yet again. After their second break, they are ready to resume action and are taking on the Manchester Met Mystics in this afternoon's clash here from the Surrey Sports Park. Both teams are just going through final preparations, and we'll start off by bringing you some team news. So, for the Sevenoaks Suns, there is no Renee Bush in the lineup this afternoon. Her and head coach of the Suns, Len Bush, unfortunately are still recovering from COVID, so will not be with the team. So, KUMAR will step up in Len's absence and lead the Suns. Lavinia De Silva will return back to lineup as well for Sevenoaks, having missed the Oaklands game due to isolation off the back of her national team appearance with Portugal. And there is a Sevenoaks Suns debut for Katrin Holm, who makes an appearance having joined the Suns from Anglia Ruskin, who were unable to complete their season in the WNBL. As for the Manchester Met Mystics, they are nearly at full strength. The only absence today is Mia Bratka for coach Jeff Jones. And in Mia's absence, there is a return to the Mystics for Jade Mbam, who's come back from her start of her college career in the States and will complete the season for the Mystics. So Coach Jeff Jones has another dynamic backcourt option to add to his possibilities. Sevenoaks Suns, of course, having just played the two league games so far. Victories against the Newcastle Eagles and the Oaklands Wolves. Manchester coming in on the back of a win last week in Durham are 3-2 in league action and looking to cement their push for a top 4 spot here this afternoon. Rosters should be just popping up on the screen, so as you can see, Lavinia De Silva will be back, and for the Suns, along with Katrin Holm, who will wear 14, and then they will both start this afternoon along with Tiani Clark, Kat Carr and Irene Garrido Perez for KUMAR. As for the Mystics, normal starting 5, so it'll be Nicolette Fong-Lukui wearing 3, Georgia Jones 8, Hannah Shaw 9, Rianne Bailey 10 and Sophia Song 24. Jade Mbam coming into lineup, as we said, will be wearing 21. Georgia Jones in particular's form has picked up over the last couple of weeks, having had certainly by her standards, a relatively slow start to season, but now back and averaging 17 points and 6.5 assists per game, along with 6 rebounds. So Georgia Jones doing it on both ends of the floor, leading rebounder this season so far for the Mystics. As both teams are just going through their final instructions, Manchester will be the first to head out onto the floor wearing white this afternoon. We do actually, believe it or not, in the current circumstances, having a little bit of a crowd this afternoon. They're not actually directly in the arena, but the Glasgow Rocks players are up in the cafe on the left, looking out over on the court. So, a small crowd for both sets of players to play in front of. Sadly, you won't be able to hear them if they make any noise, though, with the glass blocking them from actually getting onto courtside here at the Sports Park. One of 3 WBBL Championship games, as Sevenoaks are a little bit late coming out of the huddle. The other league game is Cardiff Met Archers versus Caledonia Pride this afternoon from Cardiff. And then we have the WBBL semi-final of the trophy between the Leicester Riders and the Barking Abbey London Lions. Of course, the Mystics will play their semi-final next Saturday at home to Nottingham Wildcats. And finally, both teams are heading out onto court. Be Hannah Shaw, the first player onto court for the Mystics. Both teams just about ready to get going. Referees here this afternoon from Surrey Sports Park is Farouz Devarand and Beatty Ugzor. So two of the veteran referees in the league. And we'll see if Sevenoaks can avoid their first loss, having seen the Leicester Riders pick it up yesterday on the road to the Essex Rebels, as both sets of players continue to take the knee in their support for social justice and equality. And it looks like Hannah Shaw and Lavinia De Silva are ready to contest the tip ball. Lavinia De Silva wins it, but falls into the hands of Nicolette Fonglukui, and we are underway here from Surrey Sports Park. Rianne Bailey reversing the ball to Georgia Jones on the right wing. Mystics continue reversible. Rianne Bailey, long three is a little short, and the rebound pulled down by Lavinia De Silva. And it'll be Kat Carr to set the Suns' first half-court offense up. Home to De Silva on the right wing, working on Shaw, slips over. Ball is loose, and Georgia Jones will collect it. Finds Sophia Song in transition. Song up with the right hand and converts to give the Mystics the lead. A little bit unfortunate there for Lavinia De Silva slipping, but Manchester taking full advantage in transition. Home on the elbow, gives it to Kat Carr. Her left wing three is up just off the back iron, and the Mystics come away with it. Song, Bailey. Mystics really spreading the floor at the moment. Hannah Shaw roaming on the perimeter now, cuts in. Nicolette Fonglukui with the three off the back of the rim, and it'll be Tiani Clark with the rebound. Early ball screen from Kat Holm. These two have played together in the past at Team Northumbria back in the day. It's Lavinia De Silva pulling down the offensive rebound and converts over Georgia Jones. And Lavinia De Silva back in action, makes her first shot attempt, and she is one that will again be just trying to find some rhythm, having not played with the Suns since Christmas, as Georgia Jones's three is a little long. And Kat Carr will see if she can put Sevenoaks into their first lead of the afternoon. Stops in the lane, and the turnaround fadeaway by Kat Carr is good. Move we've seen plenty in the past, and she will give the Suns that early lead. Jones to Song, left corner three is up, and just wait to see which. Looks like the Mystics will retain the ball. Hannah Shaw and Lavinia De Silva contesting the rebound on the weak side. Georgia Jones looking for Song, who inbounded the ball, coming off the turnout screen. Hannah Shaw, 15-foot jump shot is good. And again, another patented move that we've seen in the WBBL for multiple years. Hannah Shaw's mid-range jump shot. Suns again looking to attack in the ball screen. Kat Carr getting into middle lane. Kicks it out to Tiani Clark under good pressure by Nicolette Fonglukui. Kat Holm mid-range jumper is a little long, and it'll be Georgia Jones to set the half-court offense up for the Mystics. Bailey, 8 left on the shot clock. Finds Shaw, thinks about the mid-range, going to go to the fadeaway jump shot, and Hannah Shaw's second consecutive mid-range jumper is good. And the Mystics into a narrow lead once again. Perez 3 over Song is short, and ball will head out of bounds. Georgia Jones setting up the Mystics in the half court once again. Song popping out from the elbow, rejects the ball screen from Bailey. She's going to have a lane all the way to the rim, but blows the left-handed wide open layup, and it'll be Tiani Clark to bring the ball away. Finds Garrido Perez wide open in the corner. three is in and out, and Fong Lu Kui picks up the defensive board for the Mystics. Bailey, transition three is up. Another one that rims out, but Mystics find the offensive rebound, and Sophia Song, the UC Davis graduate, leaves her three a little short. Both teams struggling from the perimeter here early. We'll see if we can break that duck. Indeed we can't. Fong Lu Kui short on the three. And it'll be Kat Carr driving on Georgia Jones in transition. Good defense by Jones. And she now finds the ball, transition for the Mystics. 3-on-2, Jones to Fong Lu Kui. And the Mystics taking advantage perhaps of a little bit of rust from the Suns. See Kat Holm Chano find her position in the half-court offense, still learning this Suns offense. And it'll be Kat Carr with the three. And finally we have our first triple of the afternoon. Both teams were 0 of 9 until that point, but Kat Carr knocks it down, and Sophia Song's reply is no good. And the Mystics now 0 of 7 from downtown early on. We're just past the midway point of this first quarter. Carr working on Fong Lu Kui in the post, contact, and the ball drops. So lovely spin move back over her left shoulder by Tiani Clark, taking advantage of that size matchup, and she will go to line for a 3-point play opportunity. First subs of the afternoon, Janice Monacana in for the Suns, wearing 12. As for the Mystics, it'll be 13, Vanessa Accra, and Ebony Horton wearing, I believe, 12? Yeah, 12 is Ebony Horton. Horton has had a big impact off the Mystics bench this season, providing a real spark plug in the wing position. Jones looking for the left wing ball screen from Accra. She finds the cutting Song, and a foul, travel called. So yeah, as you can see on the replay there, Sophia Song didn't quite get the ball down before she took a second step. And quite a simple call for the referee in front of us. As Horton steals the ball away from Monacana, and she will push in transition. Mystics have a brief 3-on-2, but Suns able to get back as Horton launches the long range two, towed the line on the right side. And Janice Monacana with her first rebound of the afternoon. Look, De Silva found inside, knocked away by Fong Lu Kui, and Suns reverse the ball. Garrido Perez wide open, she knocks down the triple. And the Sevenoaks Suns starting to find their feet on the offensive end. Have taken a 5-point lead here as Fong Lu Kui and Song can't connect, but Georgia Jones did a great job saving the ball from the backcourt. And Fong Lu Kui with 8 still on the shot clock forces a long range three. Coach Jeff Jones are not happy about that shot selection. And Suns working the ball around. Garrido Perez, another triple in transition. And back-to-back triples for the Spaniard has given the Suns an early 8-point lead. Fong Lu Kui, 6 on the shot clock. Mystics again not having a lot going this offense. Late ball screen by Accra. Fong Lu Kui's pull-up jump shot over Lavinia just a little short. And Monacana and Clark unable to connect. And a little touch on the way through by Song will give the Suns baseline possession after we see some subs. In for the Suns for the first time, weighing 5, Asher Andrews. As for the Mystics, Hannah Shaw back into the game, along with, for the first time, former Sheffield Hatter Helen Naylor, wearing 45. Garrido Perez off the turnout screen, going to attack to the middle, kicks it to De Silva, who slips behind Naylor and lays it in. And Irene Garrido Perez having a huge impact on this game early on, as De Silva tries to hard hedge the ball screen. Horton with the free, in and out, and Hannah Shaw unable to keep it in bounds as Cat Carr goes flying into our official on the baseline. And it will be the Manchester Met Mystics to inbound the ball. New 14 on the shot clock. Horton looks to sneak back door, but Naylor forced to pass it out long to Jones. Jones attacking, left hand, so pull up from the left elbow, a little short, fight for the rebound, pulled down by Vanessa Ackroyd. She finds Ebony Horton. Her three is up, and still there's a lid on the basket for the Manchester Met Mystics from downtown. They are now 0 of 11 on the afternoon. Naylor looking to Shaw inside. Hannah Shaw turnaround jump shot, rolls around the rim and doesn't drop. And the Suns can have a chance to continue the streak as Carr tried to find Lavinia De Silva on the roll, but De Silva just a little bit slow out of the break and unable to get the pass. And the Suns making a change. Millie Stevens, wearing 27, checking in for Garrido Perez. And we'll see if the Mystics can finally end this scoring drought. Naylor launches the three. That's a little short again, but another offensive rebound for Vanessa Ackroyd finds Naylor, and her little short jumper is good. And the Manchester Mystics are finally able to get off the 8-point mark, which they've been on for nearly, just over 4 minutes of action. And in transition, Ebony Horton called for just a little bump on Cat Carr. Not a lot of contact, but enough for the official to call just the first foul of the entire game. Oh, sorry, second foul. Nicolette Fung-Lequi picked up early in the quarter. And there's just a little problem with the scoreboard here in the Surrey Sports Park. So, scores currently on the screen showing it's Sevenoaks 18, Manchester Met Mystics 44. And our table officials managed to work out the little gremlin. So the Suns will have the ball from the sideline with 57.8 seconds left of the first quarter. Be Cat Carr to inbound the ball. Asha Andrews, the Suns youngster who's committed to the University of Hawaii for her collegiate career. Shot clock down to 6. Monacana hands off to Carr, thinks about the three, puts it on the deck, going to run out of options. Asha Andrews has to force it up on the buzzer. Her three unable to go, and a foul called on the rebound. I'm not quite sure who it's going to be called on. Could be anyone. It is 45. That is Helen Naylor for the foul on the rebound. A little hold on one of the Suns players. So Sevenoaks at baseline ball. Carr gets the handoff. Going to launch the three off to the right ever so slightly. And the Mystics will control it with 30 seconds left of the quarter. Looks like a little Horns flare screen set for Georgia Jones. Indeed it is. She's going to drive the left. Cat Carr knocks it away from behind with the long reach. And the Mystics will have 11 seconds to work the baseline out of bounds. 7-second differential between the shot and game clock. Jones looking for Naylor on the turnout screen. Little hook pass too short, unable to connect. just the second turner of the game for the Mystics. Suns 6 seconds ago. Asher Andrews drives, dishes it off to Lavinia De Silva as Hannah Shaw rotated in to help. And that will end the first quarter. The Sevenoaks Suns out to a strong start here at the Surrey Sports Park. Take a 20-10 lead after one. I will take a very brief break and rejoin you ever so shortly. Welcome back to the Surrey Sports Park for second quarter WBBL Championship action. The Sevenoaks Suns, having had a 3-week break, showing no signs of rust, have jumped out to a 10-point lead on the Manchester Met Mystics. The real story of the quarter is the Mystics' lack of 3-point success. They are 0 of 13 from deep, 5 of 9 from inside the line. And even though they've pulled down 7 offensive rebounds in the first quarter, still unable to have consistent success. As really it's Hannah Shaw done a lot of the damage for the Mystics with 4 points and 3 rebounds. As for the Suns, paced by the 2 triples of Irene Garrido-Perez, along with 6 for Lavinia De Silva. As both teams are ready to get us back underway, it'll be Sevenoaks with the first possession of the second quarter. And it'll be Asher Andrews, closely guarded by Ebony Horton, to get us underway. Monacana, handoff to Carr. Still loads of time on the shot clock for the Suns, just now rolling down to 10 seconds. Carr pick and pop with Asher Andrews, leaves the jumper just a little short, and Vanessa Accra pulls down her 3rd rebound of the contest, but Asher Andrews gets in front of Ebony Horton and takes the charge. We'll have another look at that on the replay. Asher Andrews sliding to her left, but got her chest there just in time, and even though she's moving, is allowed to take the contact. So Ebony Horton called for her 2nd personal foul of the contest, and she will take a break, being replaced by Fong Lu Chi. Asher Andrews get the Suns set up in the horn set. De Silva drives straight past Shaw and lays it home. Obviously, Sevenoaks Suns lost Julia Koppel over the Christmas and January break that they took, so really need De Silva to step up in the second half of the season, and the Portuguese international showing she can more than do that for the Suns. Accra now gonna take the 3, shot clock low, but Vanessa Accra knocks the first triple down for the Mystics. I'll be glad to see one drop, and probably from someone you would not expect. Vanessa Accra does not shoot many from downtown, but able to cut the gap to 9 as Stevens called for the Suns' first foul of the afternoon. Moving screen on the weak side. And the Suns will make a pair of changes. Stevens and Andrews getting a breather, replaced by Garrido, Perez and Clark back into the game. And just a brief pause as shot clock hadn't quite reset. In fact, having a quick look at the stats on that quick break, Vanessa Acra's first three-point attempt of the season, that was, so certainly something not on the scouting report, but she was able to knock it down and see if the Mystics can cut into this lead yet again. Acra right wing, 6 now on the shot clock, gives it to Jones. Rejects the ball screen, kicks it to Fong Lu Kui, doesn't see the shot clock, puts the ball on the deck, and 24-second violation for the Mystics. The Mystics bench perhaps a little quiet, not helping their teammates out on the floor. Monicana to De Silva, loads of room for De Silva, knocks down the jumper, and Lavinia De Silva will be the first into double digits this afternoon. 10 points on 5 of 6 shooting. As Fong Lu Kui drives, kicks it to Naylor, now to Jones. She's going to drive on the baseline, wrap around pass to Hannah Shaw on the perimeter, and she has to give it up. Acra driving, and we'll believe the blocking foul will be called. In fact, little push from behind as Kat Carr tried to get in front. Push from behind by Lavinia De Silva. And that'll be her first of the afternoon and send Vanessa Acra to the line for 2. Acra hadn't shot a free this season. She also hadn't shot a free throw in league action till now. And on her first attempt of the year in the WBBL Championship, she is unable to connect. Able to make the second, however, and the Mystics just trying to hold off the Suns, and will probably want to cut this gap slightly going towards half-time as Monicana shoots the left wing 3, and Janice Monicana with her first points of the afternoon. Had a really strong pair of performances in Sevenoaks' only action this year with that doubleheader of the WBBL Cup final and the narrow win here at the Sports Park against the Oakland Wolves, as an offensive foul, I believe, is called. Called on Acra through a block. Not quite sure what happened there, but that'll be her first personal of the afternoon, and subs for both teams. Kat Holm in for the Suns, giving Lavinia De Silva her first break of the afternoon, and the veteran Rianne Bailey along with Sophia Song checking in for the Mystics. So both teams running a fairly small group, a pair of groupings on the floor, it looks like. Really, Holm will be the 5 for the Suns. And we'll see how both teams adapt to having some good floor spacing on the floor. Monicana to Carr, she'll get 2 feet in the paint. Tries to take the step back jumper, but blocked by Georgia Jones. And she will bring the ball away in transition. Jones hesitation dribble, finds Fong Lu Kui, backdoor cut and reverse layup. And the GB pair connecting well together there. Perez to Tiani Clark, skip pass to Monicana, run off the 3-point line by Acra, and just able to connect with the Kat Holm. And it'll be Sophia Song for the Mystics. Ball reversing again. Mystics have had good ball movement, but haven't been able to find much success from hitting the second or third side. Bailey driving on Holm, gets the contact and the finish. And Rianne Bailey blowing straight by the Suns' new signing, and will head to the line for a chance to complete the 3-point play. Bailey unable to get the free throw to go, and as Mystics no offensive rebounds there as coach Jeff Jones used that little break for a chance to talk to his team. Kat Carr under the rim, unable to get it to go because she was a little bit too deep. The ball eventually worked to Tiani Clark, and the Mystics will push in transition. Song beats Clark down the floor and able to lay it in, and Mystics really having some success in transition this afternoon. Their sixth fast break point of the contest, and it'll be Suns working the pick and roll. Clark to Holm, and Kat Holm, having taken multiple years out of the WBBL, back and gets her first bucket, and Jeff Jones will call timeout for the Mystics, unhappy with their defense at the moment. Wide open on the pick and roll. Mystics, of course, have a little bit of rhythm, but both these sides still really trying to find the groove, having taken the decision to pause their activities due to COVID concerns till the international break. First of all, welcome to Surrey Sports Park. I'm Michael Hanson-Morris, the commentator. We would like to apologise for the lack of chat today. Was believed disabled by accident. So hopefully in future games we will have that up for you. So you'll just have to make do with posting comments online. I'm sure if you can put your tweets into WBBL Official, they will try and get some highlights and some comments out during the game. And it will be the Manchester Met Mystics who are the first to come out of the timeout. Looks like the same 5-4 coach Jeff Jones that was on the floor prior to that timeout. Reminder for those of you that were not here for the very start of the game, it is KUMAR coaching the Sevenoaks Suns this afternoon. Unfortunately, Len Bush has been struggling with COVID, and he is still on the mend. So, Len, hopefully you are back with us soon. But it doesn't look like your team are missing you too much, as they are in this 9-point lead as we're in the midway point of this second quarter. Fong Lu Kui thinking about the three, skips it to Rianne Bailey, and her triple is good. Bailey, a 31% three-point shooter. She was 4 of 13 coming into this contest. And the lead is down to 6, having once been as high as 11 or 12 for the Suns. Fong Lu Kui, good defense on Tiani Clark, knocked the ball away. Suns 6 on the clock. Find De Silva, who had checked back inside during that timeout. Her up and under move hits the bottom of the rim. And Sophia Song again out in transition for the Mystics. And Mystics decide to kick out. Bailey drives, pass overhead. Georgia Jones, triple, and suddenly having not made the triple in the first, Suns are hot from downtown. 3 consecutive scores has cut this lead to 1 possession. Monicano driving on Bailey, goes to the floater, leaves it a little short, collects her own rebound though, and Rianne Bailey, not happy with calls on both ends of the floor, has received a warning from the referees. Multiple Mystics players now starting to chime in. Jones, deep three, 1.5 meters behind the three-point line. Sophia Song knocked the ball loose, and Mystics unable to keep it alive. Fong Lu Kui decides to travel with it and throw it away and give the Suns a chance to run in transition. Carr driving in, has De Silva available on the pop, decides not to use it, finds Garrido Perez, she will drive in. Good defense by Song to stay straight up and force a tough jumper. And Mystics again looking to attack. Fonlukui gets a little bit of contact, but not enough to get a call. And Georgia Jones will now have 8 on the shot clock. See what the Mystics can do. Song, left drive, trying to find the cutting Accra, and the Mystics will commit their 6th turnover of this contest. And we are back underway, the ball nearly having left the arena. Garrido Perez open, but only because of a moving screen. That is called on Janice Monacana. Her first of the contest. Mystics have another opportunity to perhaps tie this game. Bailey driving in, straight line drive given to her on the baseline, and she's able to get it to go. And the Manchester Mystics back very briefly to a 1-point deficit, but Tiani Clark able to answer on the mid-range pull-up. Fonlukui to Song. Her drive and kick. Georgia Jones knocks down her second triple. And we have a 2-point game and a foul on the drive. Kat Carr taking it in strong. I'll have another look at the replay here. You can see never quite set, still moving, and contact not with the chest like we saw at the other end. And Fonlukui will take a break, having picked up a second personal foul. And it'll be Rosie Hines checking in for her first action of the contest. Suns immediately going to try and post her up with Tiani Clark. Goes a little turnaround, and she gets her second consecutive bucket of the game. Now up to 7 points personal, Tiani Clark. And the lead to 4 as we into the final 90 seconds of the first half. Bailey wrap around pass all the way to Song, but she cannot get the 3-point attempt to go. Contact between Bailey and De Silva. Bailey helps her up, but Sun's able to go, but falling asleep in transition. Rosie Hines runs the floor, and she gets the immediate response. And this gap is still hanging around. A 1-2 possession game. So we're now into the final minute. Monacana and Carr, and foul, I believe it'll be on Vanessa Accra, running through the back of the handoff. And here we can see the transition bucket again. Rosie Hines behind the Sevenoaks Suns defence. And Vanessa Accra, having picked up her second personal, taking a break. So Coach Jeff Jones, his 3 players that are on 2 fouls, all on the bench, doesn't want to risk a third foul before the half. Clark driving, kicks out to De Silva. Seen her hit that mid-range before, but unable to get it to go, and Rianne Bailey drops the ball. So Suns will retain possession. New 14 on the shot clock, and we'll see what they can get from the inbound. De Silva slipping to the hoop, having set the screen for Kat Carr, and Rianne Bailey throws the inbound away, trying to find Georgia Jones. 4-on-2 fast break, and charge taken by Rianne Bailey. She's hit her head on the back of the floor. Hopefully she's okay, but that was great defense by Bailey, stepping in front of Tiani Clark, and will take the charge when we'll see that again on the replay. there early, and a really simple call just about kept her feet outside the charge circle. And the Suns making a mess of the 4-on-2 fast break. And Jeff Jones with a chance, perhaps maybe even for a 2-for-1 opportunity, will use his second timeout of the game. With 36 seconds left to go of the half. Mystics really got back into this with a balanced scoring effort. Rhiannon Bailey leading all scores with 7 points, but every starter has at least 4 for the Mystics, along with Vanessa Acker off the bench, who's really been a spark. 4 points, 5 rebounds, including 3 on the offensive end for Acker. As for the Suns, it's Lavinia De Silva pacing them with 12 points, 7 rebounds on her return to the lineup, having missed the doubleheader in February, having to quarantine on a return back from her spell with the Portuguese national team. And both teams just heading back out onto the floor for this final 36 seconds. Remind that Sevenoaks did have it was indeed a 13-point lead at one stage of this second quarter. They led 27-14 with 7 minutes to go of the half, so a big run, having finally made some threes, has got them into it. Mystics now 4 of 19, having started 0 of 13, and we'll see if Mystics do indeed look for this 2-for-1 opportunity, or if they just find the best shot on a long offense, which indeed is what they're going to do. Jones, hard hedge on the ball screen. Naylor, pump fake, but doesn't get the ball down, and she did ever so slightly leave the floor, so called for the travel. And the Suns will be able to have the final offense of the half if they indeed decide to use the clock. It's 16 seconds to go. Looks like De Silva's going to come up for the ball screen. Her and Carr driving. Silva trying to get a seal. Carr forced to a tough fall-away jumper over Jones. Leaves it short. And really a lot of contact on cuts and drives. Referees kind of let it go at both ends, but both sets of players really looking or wanting a little bit more protection from the referees. And perhaps that'll be something we see in the second half. But really the referees have been inclined to let both teams play. And I'm sure as long as it's consistent, there can't really be too many arguments. But we will indeed take a break here for half-time, as the Sevenoaks Suns have pulled out a 6-point lead at the break, 39-33. We will hopefully have some highlights rolling for you during half-time for you to enjoy, for those of you that are joining us late to the action. But for now, we'll take a break and we'll join you with commentary with 3 or 4 minutes left of the half to recap what we've seen at Surrey Sports Park. But for now, we'll take a quick break and see you soon. for second half WBBL Championship action between the Sevenoaks Suns and the Manchester Met Mystics. Sevenoaks have a 39-33 half-time lead, and both teams are just going through the final warm-up for the second half. Got just about 3.5 minutes till we get back underway, and nice to see we have some fans in the complex today, as we should call it. As you can see on the screen, the Glasgow Rock Skies up in the cafe area of the Surrey Sports Park ahead of their game tonight here against the Surrey Scorchers. So Glasgow making a trip down, also on the road to play the London Lions tomorrow in the first leg of their BBL Trophy semi-final. Trophy semi-final that Manchester Met Mystics next week will be in. So they will host the Nottingham Wildcats next Saturday up in Manchester. I believe that tip is set for 2 o'clock. And they will play the winner of this afternoon's trophy semi-final, which is the Barking Abbey London Lions travelling up to the Leicester Riders. That was a 4:30 tip. I believe that will also be streamed here on the WBBL YouTube channel. Leicester, of course, having taken their first loss of the entire season last night on the road to the Essex Rebels. So the roster changes for the Riders not paying off on early doors. We'll see if coach Jesper Sundberg's side can bounce back at the end of the double-header. The other WBBL game will be starting in about 25 minutes across in Wales, as the Cardiff Met Archers back in home action. They will take on the Caledonia Pride before a trio of games tomorrow. Essex Rebels hosting the Oaklands Wolves. Barking Abbey London Lions will have Durham travel down to London, and the Newcastle Eagles hosting the Nottingham Wildcats, who will be the Mystics opponents in that semi-final next week. For those of you that did not watch the first half, a brief recap, really a tale of the 3-point line for the Manchester Met Mystics. 0 of 13 in the first quarter from downtown. Saw them lose the first quarter by 10, but having once been in a 13-point deficit, the Mystics rallied back with 4 triples and cut the lead to what was briefly a 1-point game, but a little run got it to 6. Lavinia de Silva, the Portuguese international, top scoring for the Sevenoaks Suns, 12.7 rebounds in the first half. And as ever, Suns a collective team effort. Tiani Clark and Janice Monacana both with 6. Irene Garrido Perez with the 2 early triples has 6, and Kat Carr with 5 points. Reminder, it is Kapil Kumar coaching the Sevenoaks Suns this afternoon. Unfortunately, Len Bush was briefly hospitalised with COVID, but he is on the mend and hopefully will be back with his team shortly. As for the Mystics, it's Rhianne Bailey leading all scores with 7 points. And the Mystics ever relying on Georgia Jones, 6 points, 4 assists for the GB international point guard, and her backcourt teammate Nicolette Fong-Lu-Kui, 4 points, 5 assists as well. So the GB pair really providing a spark in that second quarter. And both teams just taking all the time they're afforded in the huddle. It was noticeable for me at half-time from the arena that Jeff Jones spent a considerable portion of half-time talking to his players, was in the huddle for the first 9 minutes or so. And both teams finally ready to come onto court. For the Suns, it'll be 22 Kat Carr, 1 Lavinia de Silva, 31 Irene Garrido Perez, 20 Tiani Clark, and the one change, Janice Monacana, weighing 12, will start for the Suns, having come off the bench in the first half. As for the Mystics, it is their starting 5 onto floor. So 10 Rhianne Bailey, 24 Sophia Song, 9 Hannah Shaw, 3 Nicolette Fong-Lu-Kui, and to receive the inbound pass, 8 Georgia Jones. And we are indeed back underway. Suns working the flare screen for Jones, now trying to find, well, it was Rhiannon Bailey initially posting up, but Song off the stagger screen finds Hannah Shaw rolling to the rim. And the GB international gets her scoring tally underway. Was scoreless in the second quarter, Hannah Shaw, but had 4 of the Mystics' 10 first quarter points. And a offensive foul on Lavinia De Silva for an illegal screen. Even on the replay, not a lot of movement there, but just enough for the referee to call the offensive foul. Have not seen many defensive fouls called in that first half, but 2 moving screens, so it's clearly an area of emphasis for the referees to tidy up today, and continuation of that early is De Silva's second personal of the contest. Shaw backing down De Silva in the post, kicks it out. Fong Luqui's 3 is short, but gets her own rebound. Wraparound pass on the baseline. Bailey leaves the jumper short, and Mystics deflect the ball out of bounds. And we'll see if Sevenoaks can convert from the half court. Kapil Kumar calling out a set for the Suns. Bailey, hard hedge, Cat Carr on the ball screen, but Monicano will drive baseline on Shaw and will head to the line. Sevenoaks Suns only, well, first trip to the line for a pair of free throws. We'll see us there. Hannah Shaw just reaching in with the right hand on Monicano's drive. And yeah, indeed, the only free throw attempt for the Suns in that first half was on an and one play by Tiani Clark. Monicano splits the pair, shooting 58% from the line in the championship so far. Obviously, for the Suns, a little bit different, having only played the 2 games, but clearly Janice Monicano had a plan. Missed the free throw, team get the offensive rebound, and why score 1 point from the line when you can knock down a triple? Monicano's second triple of the afternoon, and the Suns back into an 8-point lead early second half. Skip pass to Jones, her third triple of the afternoon connects. Georgia Jones, 38% from 3. That'll be her 19th triple in just 6 championship games. And Suns, a little bit of struggle, but Tiani Clark eventually able to pull down the handle, driving in and throws the ball away. Not quite sure if Lavinia De Silva got a hand on the pass or not, but does not matter. Either way, it's a turnover for the Suns. And we'll see if the Mystics can capitalise here. Georgia Jones pulls down the miss and able to convert. Georgia Jones, first Mystic into double figures. She's now up to 11 points to go with her 4 assists. And having dropped into that big first half deficit, the Mystics done a good job getting back into it and now just hanging around. Carr inside to Monicano, and her reverse layup is good. So really it's the GB presence at both ends of the floor really taking over early in this second half. Song now drives, nearly tied up by Monicano, but she gets out to Rhiannon Bailey. Her left drive, well defended by Kat Clark. And Suns have a chance to push in transition. Garrido Perez skip. Carr left wide open from 15 foot, and she makes no mistake. And we will get the first subs of the second half. Asher Andrews, who had that late assist to end the first quarter, checks in for Irene Garrido Perez. And Coach Jeff Jones sticking with the same 5 currently for the Mystics. Jones gets the ball screen from Hannah Shaw. Sevenoaks again hard hedging with Lavinia De Silva, something they've added to their artillery this year. And the entry pass to Bailey broken up by Andrews. And the Mystics will have 6 seconds to work the baseline. A little bit of an awkward position here to inbound the ball from, right on the edge of the 3-point line. Bailey to Song, looks like she'll get the double screen. Fong Lu Kui driving, left-handed layup, a little short. And the Suns will come away 3-on-2 in transition if they can find the option. Andrews on the trail, wide open from the 3. And Asha Andrews knocks down her second triple of the season. Bailey trying to work the pass into Shaw, but double deflection off Hannah Shaw, and she will come out the game, replaced by Vanessa Accra, who was a little bit of a spark for the Mystics, pulled down 3 offensive rebounds in that first half, and in fact a double change for Coach Jeff Jones. As you can see there, Mystics unable to connect on that pick and roll. It is Ebony Horton checking in as well for Sophia Song. Clark backing down the smaller Horton, looking like she's going to go left, comes back to the right over her left shoulder, leaves it short. Lavinia De Silva's put back also short, and Georgia Jones pulls down the rebounds. Mystics looking to push, but have to slow it up, and Georgia Jones will find Rianne Bailey, who slipped on the screen and is called for the offensive foul. And Rianne Bailey will pick up a tee, arguing the fact that it was in the charge circle. It was definitely contact through the chest of Monicana, but where was the contact? Was it inside or outside the charge circle? You will have to make your minds up at home. Where were Janice Monicana's feet? Jeff Jones clearly upset. He is pushing the boundaries of another technical foul. And it'll be Kat Carr to the line to shoot the technical on Rianne Bailey. Bailey still arguing the call, and she has to be careful not to pick up a second technical foul. That would see her thrown out from the game. The players to the left, you can see Jeff Jones still talking, but the players in the key having discussions. A lot of them obviously know each other for several years, and a lot of them friends away from the game, so nice to see the players able to talk about the call. And it'll be the Suns now with this double-digit lead. Can they extend it as we cross into the second period, half of the third quarter? Kat Carr connects on the 3. And this lead is up to a game high 14 for Sevenoaks. Ebony Horton's layup unable to go. Kat Carr steps on the baseline, but the referee again misses it. And the Suns getting maybe some favourable calls, but Tiana Clark given the lane to reject the screen, throws the ball away. Mystics 2-on-1. Fong Lu Kui 2. Horton well got back by Lavinia De Silva. Horton unable to put it up, and she will back it out, and the Mystics will have to work in the half court. Bailey pump fake 3, driving on Asha Andrews, and she is called for the blocking foul. In fact, no, foul is called on Lavinia De Silva, in fact, not Asha Andrews. There was contact by both players there, but the referee deciding it was De Silva with the foul. So she has her 3rd personal of the game. And it was going to be Janice Monicana to take a break, but Kapil Kumar quickly recognising that was De Silva's 3rd. And Sevenoaks Suns new signing Katrin Holm will check in for De Silva. Asha Andrews connected with a 3 earlier, connects with a second. Left wide open yet again in transition. And this lead has boomed out to 17 points. 18-7 third quarter so far for the Suns, as Jones unable to connect on the triple. Carr going coast to coast and fouled on the drive. Believe on Georgia Jones, indeed it is. And time out Jeff Jones for the Manchester Mystics. And he has just picked up a warning. And he is not happy about that. To be honest, I'm almost slightly surprised he hasn't picked up a warning elsewhere in the game. And let's just see how this unfolds. Was going to take a break, but this is far more entertaining. Timeout being led by the Mystics players on the far side. That is not on your screen, as Jeff Jones continues to talk with the officials. Looks like, from my vantage point on the far side of the arena, it's Rhiann Bailey leading the Mystics huddle. And looks like the situation will calm down, and as the 10-second buzzer goes, Jeff Jones finally gets into the huddle. And both teams are back onto court. Reminder that Sevenoaks are one of the two undefeated teams left in the WBBL Championship, along with the Barking Abbey London Lions. But obviously Suns, having had the multiple breaks, have a lot of games to come on the schedule. Still due for another 17 games in the last 8 weeks of the season after this, as Tiani Clark knocks down the long two just inside the line. So just the two, and we'll see if Mystics can respond after that timeout. Fong Lu Kui drives, draws contact, believe from Kat Holm, and she will head to the line. And we'll see a replay of that. Again, I'll let you at home be the judge of that. Certainly contact, but the referee deciding it was Holm that created it rather than Fong Lu Kui, and she is unable to connect on the first free throw, but does on the second. Her 5th point of the contest, to go with 6 assists. Asha Andrews, hard hedge, gets the ball to Holm. She looks to skip it to Carr. She will settle for the triple. And Kat Carr, 3rd triple of the afternoon, has put this lead into the 20s for the Suns. Carr, 14 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists. And Georgia Jones unable to get it to go, but great save by Vanessa Accra, but unfortunately blind pass falls into the Suns' hands. And Tiani Clark will set up the offense, finds Carr, working on Horton, blows by a right-handed scoop layup is good. And the Sevenoaks Suns' 3rd quarter dominance continues. Mystics have no answers at either end of the court. Bailey, flare screen, skips it to Horton. Mystics trying to work the ball inside to Accra, but batted out of bounds. And Sevenoaks Suns called a timeout with 2:05 left. Their first timeout of the entire game, in fact. And they have really used this 3rd quarter to create an advantage, leading this quarter 28-8, with still 2 minutes left of this 3rd quarter. I'd like to welcome you to the commentary position here at the Surrey Sports Park. Would like to apologise again for the lack of comments today. the stream was set up to not enable comments, so unable to see your views and opinions on the game here from the sports park. As the 10-second buzzer sounds, looks like the referee's heading over to get both teams out of the huddle. Just a quick look at the stats so far. Suns now with 4 players in double digits, and it is on 4 you'd probably expect for the Suns. Lavinia De Silva 12 points, Tiani Clark 10, Kat Carr 16, and Janice Monacana with 13. As for the Mystics, it's Georgia Jones leading the way with 11 points. As both teams are now back onto court, Helen Naylor will check in during the timeout for the Mystics, and as will Millie Stevens for the Suns. It will be the Mystics ball from the baseline, 10 seconds to go, as in fact Rosie Hines also checks in. So Mystics really running with 3 point guards almost on the floor now. Hines, Jones and Wong Lu Kui see what they can run. Looking like the same out of bounds set. Jones finds Naylor, 15-foot jumper is good, and Helen Naylor with an immediate impact off the bench. The former Sheffield Hatter, obviously with Sheffield taking the season off. Really almost strange to see Helen Naylor in a non-Sheffield uniform, and it is Kat Holm called for the illegal screen, trying to roll hard to the basket. And the Mystics have a chance to try and claw this way back into their game. Naylor off the flare screen finds Accra. Accra driving in, contact, and Asher Andrews given a flop warning. Looked like the contact was inside the charge circle, so fine with the no call, but referee deciding the youngster went down a little bit too easily. And foul on the drive called on Georgia Jones. She passed. Looks like it's going to be 2 shots given by the official. Wouldn't mind seeing that back to see if she passed it or shot it, but the referee decided she was in the act of shooting, so Kat Carr to the line for 2. Also checking in for the Suns in that timeout, Zulika Franklin getting her first opportunity of the game. Another one of the Sevenoaks junior talent pool seeing the court in WBBL, as Jones wraparound pass to Naylor, and the Mystics have this down to a 20-point lead. Probably a 2-for-1 opportunity here for the Suns. Franklin cuts back door, loses her footing in the paint, and will be tied up. But the possession arrow does favour the Suns, and they will have 9 seconds to work with on the baseline. Out of bounds set. Holm. Handoff to Carr, 3 on the shot clock. Kat Carr, 1 dribble pull up, rebound, rolls out of bounds, and the Manchester Mystics will have the final, well, the chance to hold for the final shot should they wish. 22 seconds to go on the skip pass to Naylor. Reverse it to Jones. Naylor pops, still loads of time, but Helen Naylor locks down the 3. Sevenoaks will have the chance to respond. 3 seconds. Kat Carr dribbles into a trap, and that will end the 3rd quarter here. Manchester Mystics with a little bit of a run. 7-0 run, in fact, to close the 3rd quarter. And I will take a brief break here from Surrey Sports Park. But after 3 quarters, it is the Sevenoaks Suns 67, Manchester Mystics 50. Welcome back to the Surrey Sports Park, where the Manchester Met Mystics are heading onto the court for the fourth quarter. Mystics closing that period out with a little bit of a run to try and claw this way back into the game. That Sevenoaks really broke open with an extended run to start the third quarter, having 28 points in the first 8 minutes as the lead blew out to as many as 24 points. We'll see if the Mystics have anything left to come back at the Suns, who are playing their first game in 3 weeks. And it'll be Helen Naylor inbounding the ball to get us underway. Mystics still running with this 3-guard set with Jones, Fong Lu Kui and Hines all on the floor together. Accra to Hines. She's going to drive and kick 4 on the shot clock. Helen Naylor finds Vanessa Accra. Her little fadeaway is short, but Fong Lu Kui picks up the rebound but steps out of bounds. Sorry, struggling to quite see what the call was there. But Sevenoaks will get the stop eventually, and it'll be Tiani Clark to get their half-court offense underway. Garrido Perez to Carr, 5 seconds on the shot clock, and Lavinia De Silva called for another moving screen. That'll be her 4th personal foul of the contest. And acting head coach Kapil Kumar will go to the bench, but not in time to get the sub in. So the Mystics will have a chance to perhaps put De Silva in some foul trouble. Here, can they foul her out the game perhaps on this possession? Hines guarded now by Clark. Fong Lu Kui is going to settle for the 18-foot jumper in and out of the rim, and it'll be Kat Carr to pull down her 4th rebound of the afternoon. Looking for the high-low, great pass by Tiani Clark. De Silva blows the layup, but collects her own miss. And Lavinia De Silva, who now has a double-double of 14 points, 11 rebounds. Mystics again looking for the ball screen. Fong Lu Kui driving. Hines, 15-foot jumper is long. Mystics keep it alive, but the shot clock will run out. De Silva, in fact, given possession on the steal. So Suns out in transition. Monacana is called for the travel as the Mystics got away with a little push there. Monacana can't believe it, but it'll be Mystics ball, and Suns avoid disaster of De Silva fouling out early on in the 4th with 4 fouls, as we see the replay there. Janice Monacana did just about shuffle her feet, but yeah, Lavinia De Silva on the 4 fouls will sit down, and it'll be Kat Holm checking in as the shot clock didn't reset properly. And we're finally back underway. Jones now with Helen Naylor. Mystics using the whole shot clock again. Bailey on the roll, and Manchester unable to keep it alive on the offensive glass. And the Suns, whose offense has quietened up in the last 4 or 5 minutes, having exploded early in the third, just the 2 points in the last 4 minutes of action. Again, unable to convert. Monacana this time with the miss. But the other end, the Mystics unable to capitalise on the stops they're getting, yet to score in this fourth quarter as Fong Lu Kui splits Perez and Holm, unable to get the layup to go. And it'll be Kat Carr. No one stopping the ball. She works it out. Garrido Perez, step back. 2 is good. Little home court roll for Irene Garrido Perez. And she moves herself on to 8 points personal, having had the 2 threes early in the game. Jones forced to give it up. Bailey fires it inside to Jones. Her fall away jumper, no good. And the Mystics scoreless streak continues. And this game is starting to feel like it's done as Carr nearly throws the ball away. Ball saved by Holm. Clark into the lane, pull up over Fong Lu Kui is good. And Sevenoaks Suns dominate in this fourth quarter. Helen Naylor into Rhiann Bailey, working in the mid-block. Has to settle for the jumper. In, out, and back in again for Rhiann Bailey. And she'll be delighted to get the scoreboard rolling over, even if it is looking like a little bit too late. And I'm guessing this is another offensive foul for a moving screen. I couldn't quite see what happened. Indeed it is. This time it's Tiani Clark called for the moving pick. And timeout called by the Suns, leading by 21 with 5.5 minutes to go in this fourth quarter of WBBL Championship action. Have a quick look at the upcoming schedules for both teams. So the Mystics will be in Championship action on Wednesday night at home to the Leicester Riders before they play in the WBBL Trophy semi-final against the Nottingham Wildcats. That was due to be a league game, but has been moved up to Manchester for the trophy. As for the Sevenoaks Suns, they will head north to face Durham in league action next Saturday. And I'm sure Suns in particular will have a very flexible schedule moving forward. They've still got 17 league games to fit in after today. So lots of potential midweek and double-header action for the Suns coming up the rest of the way. Obviously, the whole team were not out of COVID protocols in time for Wednesday's trophy game against the Barking Abbey London Lions, so unfortunately they did have to forfeit that, but it's great to see them back on the floor here this afternoon. Only their third game of the year. As both sides onto court, and for the Suns, another opportunity to give some of their academy players minutes. So checking in for the first time, weighing 11, is Izzy Wood. She immediately gets beat backdoor. Nicolette Fong Lu Kui with the cut, and she is up to 7 points personal to go with the 6 assists. The Manchester starting backcourt of Jones and Fong Lu Kui now with a combined 15 assists on the afternoon. Holm thinks about the three, steps in, one pull-up, 2 is short, and Mystics pushing in transition, find the training Rhiann Bailey, but her 3 is off. Carr finding Holm on the backdoor cut in transition, and Katrin Holm gets her second bucket in her WBBL return. And the lead back into the 20s again for the Sevenoaks Suns. Accra on the roll from the ball screen, finds Bailey on the free throw line. Her her jumper is no good, but offensive rebound, basket, and the foul for Nicolette Fong Lu Kui. And she will have a chance to get into double digits on the afternoon. Foul on Izzy Wood, that is her first. And looks like Sun's going to give some younger players a chance in the final 4 minutes. Tiani Clark sits down presumably for the final time. Asha Andrews back into the game. Carr fakes the three, finds Andrews wide open. Asha Andrews knocks down her third triple, 3 of 4 from downtown for Asha Andrews this afternoon, as Naylor's dribble pull-up is no good. Rebound pulled down by Izzy Wood. She'll push in transition, loses the handle, and called for the double dribble after the protest of Rhiann Bailey. Another Suns sub coming in. It's Lavinia De Silva, who really got the Suns off to a hot start this afternoon. 14.12 rebound double-double for De Silva so far. She has a chance to add to that in the final 4 minutes. Bailey to Naylor, unable to connect. And it'll be Kat Carr bringing the ball up once again. De Silva into Holm in the post. She kicks it out, and Georgia Jones strips the ball away from Kat Carr. Carr's 5th turnover of the game. And see what the Mystics can produce. As the shot clock's down to 7, Georgia Jones has to take the deep three off the rim. Offensive rebound bobbled loose out of the hands of Vanessa Accra. And Wood finds Andrews. Carr gets Fong Lukui in the air, kicks it to Holm on the roll. Basket is good, and a late contact on Kat Holm by Vanessa Accra. And she will head to line for a chance to convert the 3-point play. Subs coming for the Mystics. See who's coming in. Looks like Kat Carr trying to help temporary or acting head coach Kapil Kumar with the rotation. I did manage to quickly speak to head coach Len Bush before the game. He said a couple of players were on minutes limit this afternoon. So it'll be Hayley Miller into the game for the first time, as Holm unable to make her free throw. Normally reliable from the line, shot 90% last year for Anglia-Ruskin University in the WBBL. Naylor trying to work on the baseline, but ball knocked out of bounds by Garrido Perez. Mystics short shot clock. Bailey let know by the bench. She has to fire up the long two. And Mystics outside jump shooting really only working in the second quarter for them this afternoon. Holm kicks to Wood. Her three is up and good. Izzy Wood with the triple, her first action of the season in the WBBL, and makes her first field goal attempt, as Asha Andrews called for the foul on Georgia Jones, as Jones cut into the free throw line. As you can see there on the replay, Asha Andrews just a little bit late, and Suns continuing the rotation. Holm checking out, replaced by Millie Stevens. Reminder, if you stay with us at the end of the game, we will try and get you some reaction from certainly the Sevenoaks Suns camp. We'll see if anyone from Manchester will speak to us as well, as Hayley Miller pulls down the defensive board. Another missed three by the Mystics. Izzy Wood to Garrido Perez. She will take the pull-up jumper from the foul line, leaves it a little short. And Nicolette Fong-Lukui trying to be the leading rebounder on the day for the Mystics. That's her 7th defensive rebound. Only Vanessa Accra has more at 8. Suns out in transition, and Georgia Jones fouls Irene Garrido-Perez, and she will head to the line for 2. Being a game with really limited free throw attempts, it's only the 14th and 15th attempts of the entire contest till now. Suns 6 of 8, Mystics 3 of 6 from the line. And with 80 seconds to go, we will see a return to the WBBL for Jade Mbam. She has just come back from the States, and we'll see some court time here to finish the game. Another guard option for Jeff Jones as Fong-Lukui cuts back door. We've seen it earlier in the 4th quarter, able to get that synergy going again, and she now takes the role of the Mystics' leading scorer on the night. 12 points personal to go with 7 rebounds and 6 assists as Ash Andrews fires up the 3, misses. Rebound by Miller, tipped out to Andrews. She will now drive, finds Miller inside. Miller misses the layup though, unfortunately, as Jones pull up 3 in transition leaves it a little short. Mystics 6 of 31 on the day from downtown, just not going to get it done. Wood goes behind the back, running layup, little off the rim. Vanessa Accra defensive rebound, and the shot clock is now turned off. See if Mystics decide to play it out. Indeed they do. Naylor with the 3, in and out. Rebound contested, referee not sure who gets the last touch, so jump ball called. And arrow in favour of the Suns. And a WBBL debut with 10 seconds to go for Alik Alum. She will get to see the court time. Don't know if Suns will dribble it out, or looks like Ash Andrews is indeed going to dribble it out. And that will do it here from the Surrey Sports Park. Sevenoaks Suns 85, Manchester Mystics 59. And we will be right back in a minute or two to get some post-game reaction from both sides here at the Surrey Sports Park. Welcome back to the Surrey Sports Park. Sevenoaks Suns have just defeated the Manchester Met Mystics 85-59. Joined now by Suns captain Kat. Completely. You can tell I've done this live. Kat Carr. Kat, really difficult situation for you. Missing your head coach, one of your better players in Renee. Having had a 3-week break, how delighted are you with the performance and the result?
I mean, to be honest, we're really, really happy. It's a great feeling to be back on the court, you know. We've had some really unfortunate mishaps coming back, so it's just been really nice to get back on the court. I think we played really well as a team considering our circumstances, so I'm proud of us. And
obviously, really, as always with you guys, a team effort. You've got new people to introduce as well, with Kat Holm obviously making a debut today. Lavinia's obviously not played since Christmas as well. Just talk about that cohesiveness as a team and how it allows you to gel at both ends of the floor.
Yeah, I mean, Kat and Liv, they're both vets, so it doesn't take them long to get accustomed and, you know, get into the flow of things. So, I mean, we knew signing Lavinia back in the beginning of the season that we got a really big gain on our team, so we're really happy about that. Then when Jules left, you know, we had to fill that spot, and Kat, you know, she's going to step up and do really well for us. Like I said, she's a vet. She knows what she does well, and we're looking forward to having her join us.
And obviously, nice to get back on the floor. Now at some point, you're going to have a big run of games coming up. You know that coming in.
Yeah.
Just how are you talking about that as a group, or just trying to take it one game at a time and not look too far ahead?
This season hasn't taught us anything. It's literally practice by practice and game by game. So, yeah, our March is pretty calm right now, and then April really, really picks up for us. So hopefully we won't have any more mishaps. And, you know, it's going to be cool to play games all the time too, you know? Like, I haven't done that in a really long time, so I'm honestly looking forward to it.
And obviously on the road next week up to Durham, what can you build upon from today's performance, taking that into next week?
Yeah, I mean, just keep working the ball, trusting each other. You know, when we share the ball, we do really well. So we know what each of us are good at. So we got to, you know, make sure we exploit that and get players where they need the ball. And I think we just have to keep on building on that. We like to run. So, you know, hopefully we'll get in some better shape as we go along with the consistency. And, yeah, that's our game. So.
And just a brief word on Kapil. Obviously, difficult job stepping in. You're not going from assistant to head coach. Just what a good job he did of just helping you guys out and making sure you could get into your right sets and stuff. And didn't really seem like it was a big transition missing Len today.
Yeah, no, Cap he's been around, you know, this is his second year. So, I mean, he observes a lot and understands. He's very quiet, but, you know, we just take it on together and, you know, figure it out as we go. So, yeah, we're really appreciative that he's stepping in and helping us out.
Well, Kat, thanks for joining us, and we will wrap up coverage here from Surrey Sports Park. Reminder, final score, Sevenoaks 85, Manchester Mystics 59. Suns should be back here at Surrey Sports Park in a couple of weeks' time against the Newcastle Eagles.